Hi and good morning. It's Dr. Richard Norris from Leading Men Only. Just thought I'd share one today. I was giving it some thought this morning, and one of the challenges that we often face today as a leader, whether that's at work, rest, or play, and particularly for those of us who are men, is how to get influence and how do we increase our influence. And one thing I've discovered is there's one rule for improving your influence. And that's what I'm going to go through today on today's Tuesday Power Play. And I guess I'll start off with a story. When I was in the Army, I was a veterinarian and I was having to work with security dogs. And one of the things I learned from some of the top trainers is they had a certain process they went through when they were endeavoring to get the dogs to do what they wanted. And perhaps you can relate to this, whether it's at work or whether it's at home with your kids. And they said first they would ask the dog to do something. And if it didn't do it, then they would tell them to do it with a different change of voice. And then the third one, if they didn't do that, is they would just make them. They would force them to actually do it. Now, you and I both know that's perhaps not the best way to influence, but when you were dealing with dogs, that seemed to work to a point. However, I have a little son, Jensen, who's about just turned 4 years old. He is very headstrong. And as a result, as I'm sure some of you dads and moms out there who might be watching this can relate to, trying to get a little one to do something when they don't want to do it, sometimes it's less about leading, it's more about dragging them. I've certainly had to do that on a couple of occasions with Jensen. But then the more I think about it, the more I think, how do I actually influence my son? Now, you can look at the Olympics, which are on right now, and there are some athletes that are trying to influence this decision in advance. And thanks to the World Anti-Doping Association and all the work they're doing, less and less people are not playing by the rules. They're getting caught out. They're getting sent home. And I guess this leads on to, I'm sure perhaps some of you have heard about the golden rule. And for those who don't know what it is, it talks about, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And there's something to be said about that. It's about being kind and being considerate and everything else. However, if you notice how that's written, and it reminds me of something that Billy Connolly said, a famous Scottish comedian for those of you who don't know him, and he said, you've got to walk a mile in the other person's shoes. The advantage to that is you're in their shoes and you're 1 mile further away from them. Now, that's not necessarily the best recipe for influence. However, the key point there is you got to put yourself in their shoes. Now, the golden rule says we're supposed to do unto others as we would have them do unto us. But however, if you want to influence them, it's more about the application of the platinum rule, which is do unto others as they would have you do unto them. You're going to have far more influence when you're coming at things from their perspective as opposed from your own opinions, your own makeup, your own filters, your own beliefs and everything else. You've got to come at it from their perspective. I guess another way to explain this is you've got to meet them where they're at. Sandy Krakowski is an absolute genius when it comes to online and offline marketing in many ways. Wrote a book called Read Their Mind, and she talks about you've got to put yourself in their head. You've got to understand what are their key interests, what are their concerns, what's the language they're using, and you've got to apply that. So you do unto them as they would have you do unto them, not how you would like to have things done unto you. So the power play for today really, in relation to this one key rule for influence, is to put yourself in whoever you're trying to influence's shoes, whether it's your kids, whether it's your team, whether it's even your boss or the leader above you, or any other persons or customers or clients that you're trying to or endeavoring to influence. Put yourself in their shoes. Listen to what they're saying, how they're saying it. Experience their perspective, experience their environment, understand and get a real good grip of what their interests are. And when you do that, you'll certainly be in a far stronger position to influence. So hopefully that's been really a good power play today. Remember, your action point really is to put yourself in their shoes, listen, understand what their interests are. But if there's anything else I can be or do for you out there, those who are following Leading Men Only, by all means, contact me. Drop by my Facebook page, Richard Norris Biz, or you can come by the website, leadingmenonly.com, and sign up for my newsletter there, and I'll send you a free report on 3 costly mistakes most men make in leadership and how to fix them fast. Other than that, have a great day, take care, and be awesome. Thank you.